So we've considered these four iddhipadas: desire and the engagement of our emotions, the channeling of our energy towards the good, preparing the mind for wisdom, and discerning the skillful. And talking about these bases of spiritual potency, Sangharakshita says that when we're practicing them effectively, then the victory is virtually won. So we've sort of reached this more unified, integrated stage of practice that is more powerful. We're sort of more able to effect real transformation in our lives. And he describes this using the metaphor of heat, so communicating something of the image of a fire in its warmth and intensity. And fire is an agent of transformation, so we've cultivated this kind of spiritual potency where we can begin to really transform. And we've been looking at these iddhipadas in relation to the four symbols of Padmasambhava. So firstly, we looked at the Kapanga, or the staff of inspiration. We've looked at the Vajra, the diamond thunderbolt, the skull cup of great bliss, and the three robes and the lotus hat. And I said before that the guru, the archetypal guru, Padmasambhava's archetypal guru, is one who activates the energies of the disciple, sparks them off. And we've been exploring how practicing these four bases of spiritual potency can turn that spark into a fire. So just one final bit of symbolism now. Padmasambhava's name means lotus born. And we imagine him to be sitting on a giant red lotus in the midst of a clear blue sky. And the lotus is a symbol of compassion in Buddhism, and it's connected with an incident in Buddha's life following his enlightenment, where he has this beautiful vision of the potential of all beings, like a sort of vast pool of lotuses in which they're in these kind of varying stages of growth and development, varying stages of unfolding. And it was a compassionate vision which inspired him to teach. It inspired him to communicate the Dharma and try to activate the potential of beings to alleviate their suffering. They're actually, this vision of lotuses is on the wall hangings behind me here in the shrine room of the London Buddhist Centre. And Padmasambhava, he himself is born from the lotus, so he's the lotus born. He's born from compassion. He's born to communicate to beings to alleviate their suffering, to sort of empower them on the path to liberation. So he's a figure of compassion as much as of wisdom and energy. And the lotus also introduces a different kind of metaphor for practice. So we've encountered this metaphor of sparking off and cultivating fire. Whereas the image of the lotus is more of this kind of relaxed unfolding rather than burning intensity. And we do need both this kind of potency and potential, which are etymologically connected actually. So Sangharakshita, describing tantric initiation, he uses both metaphors. He uses this metaphor of sparking off, but he also says that the guru, it's like the guru plants a seed in the soil of the heart of the disciple. And the seed is planted by the guru, but it's the disciple who has to tend to that seed, to cultivate it, to water it, to make sure it has the right conditions. And at some point, in its own time, in the right conditions, it will flower. So the seed will sprout, it will flower, it will fruit. And Sangharakshita says that eventually one will find the whole plant blossoming into this 1,000-petaled lotus, which is enlightenment itself. And our own growth, our own path of liberation is a part of this bigger vision, this vision of this pool of lotus blossoms, which communicates the potential for liberation in all beings, and in whose liberation we can be a supportive condition for as well. So I'm going to end with a poem written by Maitreya Bandhu. It's called Visitation. And he wrote it about Padmasambhava. Strange that you should come like that, without any form at all, carrying no symbolic implements, without smile or frown or any commotion, as if you had been there all the time, like a pair of gloves left in a pocket. As if I had been looking that way, into the wide blue yonder, and you were beside me, enduring my hard luck stories with infinite patience. Not even waiting. The tree outside my window doesn't wait, nor the ocean wedge with its new, precise horizon, just there, like the shadow of a church or a quiet brother. And how I saw you, in the mess of things, was as a slant of grey, the perfect grey of house dust, an absolute neutral with no weaving, no shimmer of cobalt, and light years away from Byzantium. Grey. And I want to add, like light, as if a skylight opened in my skull, and into the darkness fell a diagonal of pure Bodmin moor. But even that's too bright, too world we're busy in. Call it dust, then, or the bloom of leaf smoke from an autumn fire.